Most gardeners don't realize they're slowly killing their potting mix with good intentions. Every time you overwater, overfertilize, or reuse the same container soil without resetting it, you're stripping away the biological activity that actually makes plants grow. What's left looks fine, but underneath, it's exhausted, compacted, and inefficient at moving nutrients to roots. That's when plants start failing. Not because they suddenly need more fertilizer, but because the root environment has stopped functioning like a living system. One tool I use regularly in container and raised bed work is a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that measures moisture, pH, temperature, and light intensity. A lot of what looks like dead soil is actually poor moisture distribution or hidden pH imbalance that quietly shuts down root activity. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It helps you see what's happening below the surface instead of guessing. Now here's what most gardeners get wrong from the start. They think potting mix is permanent. It's not. Fresh potting mix works because it has structure, air pockets, and active microbial life. That combination supports roots and allows nutrients to move efficiently. But over time, watering patterns collapse those air pockets, salts build up from fertilizers, and microbial populations decline. Once that happens, the mix still looks usable, but its performance drops sharply. This is why you can grow strong tomatoes one season and struggle badly the next season in the same container. I've tested this repeatedly in raised beds, grow bags, and even hydroponic media transitions, and the pattern is always consistent. The breakdown isn't sudden. It's gradual, and most gardeners don't notice until plants start underperforming. And this is where the mistake happens. They replace everything. But in most cases, you don't need new soil. You need to reset what's already there. The 3-minute step that changes everything. This is the exact method I use to bring exhausted potting mix back to life without starting over. I take finished compost and mix roughly 1 part compost with about 10 parts clean water. I stir it well until it becomes a light microbial solution, then let it sit briefly while I prepare the container or bed. After that, I apply it evenly across the potting mix until the root zone is fully moistened. For a standard 5-gallon container, I usually use about half a gallon of this solution. For raised beds, I scale it to roughly 1 gallon per 8 square feet, making sure it's evenly distributed instead of concentrated in one spot. What's happening here is simple but powerful. You're reintroducing microbial life into a system that has gone dormant. And that matters more than most gardeners realize. Because microbes are not optional in container gardening. They are the system that breaks down organic matter, stabilizes nutrients, and keeps roots functioning efficiently. Without them, fertilizer becomes less predictable, water movement becomes uneven, and roots lose their natural support system. But here's where many people stop too early. They expect instant results and move on. What you do right after matters just as much. You must feed the system. Microbes don't survive on water alone. They need a continuous food source to stay active. That's why I always add a thin half-inch layer of compost or worm castings on top after applying the microbial solution. This creates a slow, steady supply of organic material that keeps biological activity going every time you water. In my own container trials, this combination consistently outperformed fertilizer-only setups by a wide margin. Plants develop stronger root systems, better moisture retention, and more stable growth patterns. Now here's the mistake that ruins recovery completely. Overreacting with fertilizer. The moment gardeners see slight improvement, they often add more nutrients thinking they are speeding up recovery. In reality, they're doing the opposite. Excess salts build up, microbial recovery slows down, and the system becomes unstable again. At this stage, restraint produces better results than input. Instead, I always check moisture and pH first. Because if moisture is uneven or pH drifts outside the ideal range for most vegetables, typically between 6.0 and 6.8, microbial activity struggles to stabilize. Even a good reset won't hold if the environment keeps working against it. This is why experienced growers stop guessing and start measuring. The difference between guessing and control: once you start understanding what's happening inside the root zone, gardening stops being trial and error. You begin to see patterns instead of random failures. For example, a container that looks dry on top might be saturated at the bottom. Or a plant that looks nutrient deficient might simply be sitting in soil with poor pH balance. These are not fertilizer problems. They are system problems. And system problems require system fixes. This is also true in hydroponic setups. Even without soil, root zone stability still determines plant health. Nutrient solution alone isn't enough if conditions fluctuate or microbial balance is missing. The medium changes, but the principle remains the same: roots perform best in stable environments. So before you replace your potting mix, understand this clearly. Most exhausted potting mix is not destroyed. It is biologically weakened and structurally imbalanced. With a simple microbial reset, proper moisture control, and balanced organic feeding, it can often perform close to new again. The biggest upgrade in gardening is not new products. It's understanding what controls plant health below the surface. If this helped you, subscribe to Farmagic and share it with another gardener who is struggling with container plants. Once you understand soil biology and root zone behavior, you stop guessing and start growing with consistency and control.